If you're wondering how to tell you are on your path of least resistance and that you're on the quote unquote right track, here's how. You can tell by the way you feel. Your feelings are your ultimate guidance. If that sounds super unscientific, it's because finding your path of least resistance is a spiritual inquiry, not a science experiment. It's the same reason why not everyone has the same preferences, why some people love strawberries or go wild for cherries while others just don't. The same reason why your preferences can also change over time, drastically sometimes. Whatever emotion you are flowing now is an indication of how aligned you are with your path of least resistance, your path of most enlightenment, your path of greatest joy. That path is not some stagnant thing either. It is as alive and evolving as you are because you create it live, moment to moment. Like all things in your experience, your path of least resistance is something you attract and manifest. It's just that when you haven't yet discovered or tread upon it, it can seem elusive and far away and out of reach. Whereas when you've already walked it, it seems easy for you and everyone else who witnessed it to look back upon it, to observe that that is what you did and say, yes, that is the way I came and it is obviously the path I took and it made perfect sense to me to make the choices I did at the time. It must have, or I wouldn't have made them in the first place. Even if the truth is that right up until the moment you chose to take that particular route, you may have had many reservations or concerns. Hindsight is 2020, right? Have you ever been desperately in need of the toilet? When you finally do find one, what a wonderful sight it is. It's pretty much the only thing you can see, right? When you gotta go, you gotta go. But once you've relieved yourself, you no longer have any need for that toilet and you have no reason to stick around. Come to think of it, it kind of stinks in there anyway, and you can't wait to wash your hands and leave. What a difference there is between the moment before you did your business and the moment immediately afterwards. That's how quickly perspectives can and do change. The trick is to stay up to speed, to keep in tempo and in tune, to follow the beat and rhythm of your ultimate joy, to ride the waves of your greatest bliss. Your path of least resistance feels joyful, free from stress and strife. Here's the thing. Your path of least resistance includes some resistance. It must, because your path of least resistance includes a bit of everything. Everything in amounts that feel good to you. You know what that means? You actually enjoy a bit of resistance. Resistance is not a bad thing necessarily, and your path of least resistance is relatively free from stress and strife. The absence of stress and strife on your path of least resistance is relative, not absolute. Your path of least resistance is peaceful on balance. Think about sex for a minute, the act of procreation. If that seems like a sudden change of topic, it really isn't. Consensual sex involves mutual attraction, a mutual receiving of the other, if you like. To love is to become one with. The parties involved are loving and receptive of one another. Consensual sex, lovemaking, is an act of bonding, of coming together. It is also a creative act, given that it can result in new life. And what about the physical act itself? The physical act of sex involves the rubbing together and against each other of the sexual organs, pretty much, right? To put it bluntly. Stop snickering, you. We're all adults here. And if not, you shouldn't be here in the first place. Beat it. Scram. Just kidding. You can stay, just don't get caught by anyone who objects to your being here. Where were we? Sex, the rubbing together and against each other of the reproductive sexual organs. That involves some friction, some resistance. Sure, it feels best when there is lubrication, but can you imagine how exciting, or rather not exciting, sex would feel if there was no friction at all? How could you feel anything, get a grip on anything, if there was no friction at all? Some resistance, some friction, some tension is good. Some resistance is what makes life possible. Literally, some resistance is what makes life wonderful. It's what makes all of the positive emotions possible, as well as the negative. Without some resistance, there would be no life. Nothing could exist or come into being. Long story short, some resistance is desired, desirable. Chronic overwhelming resistance, on the other hand, is another matter entirely. What you want is balance and flow, movement and rhythm and flow that feel good to you, which incidentally are the exact same things that make consensual sex feel really, really good. Moving on. What are the problems, the issues, the unanswered questions that you have right now? Whatever it is that is troubling you, if you are wondering how to get rid of the problem, how to fix or solve it, if you're asking how, in other words, or when, how do I get the money? When will I get the money? How do I get that cute guy or cute girl to love me? When will he or she notice my existence? How do I get my lover to behave better? When will they be more considerate of me? How do I get my friends or co-workers or parents to behave? When will they stop being so irritating or demanding or whatever your grievance is with them? If you are asking when or how, then you are unaware that what you want is already happening, that it's already done, that the solution you want, the answers that you seek, are already yours. That's not wrong. It is a part of the creative process to wonder how. A part of it. A part that can feel good too, as long as you don't linger there for too long. As long as you aren't chronically wondering how and when you will get the stuff that you don't have. You don't have to stay in the mode of longing for things, of yearning and lacking and hoping and wishing and being unfulfilled, in other words. There are better ways to ask because there are better ways you can feel. It's a question of what you prefer, of how you prefer to feel. When you are already in a loving relationship with your ideal mate, you don't wonder how to get a lover. You don't ask how or wonder when you will get to be with him or her. You are already secure in the knowledge that you are with him or her. This isn't about your relationship status, it's about your state of mind. When you already have the money, you don't ask how to get it or wonder when it will come. Not because you have the money, although you do, but because you have assumed the awareness of someone who already has the money. You have embodied the consciousness of someone who has the money. This isn't about whether or not you have the money. It's about your awareness of having the money or not. Think about it. When you are happy and secure about quote unquote having money, here's what is actually happening. It's not that you are happy because you have money, although you are happy and you do have money. It's that you are allowing yourself to flow your positive energy, your feelings of happiness and security in the belief, the awareness that you have something of value, something of benefit. That money that you have, let's say it's in the form of cash, and let's say it came to you from someone who owes you money and that you trust. They hand you an envelope with a whole wad of cash in it as payment. When you open that envelope, there it is, a whole wad of cash. Yay! That money might actually turn out to be counterfeit or in a foreign currency that happens to make it pretty much unusable and therefore worthless for you in your country of residence. But until you become aware of that, you don't let it bother you. You trust your eyes and your hands. You can see the cash. You can hold it and touch it. It looks and feels real. You trust that it is real. And it's your belief that the money you have is not counterfeit. Your belief that the money you have is real, that it has value, that you use as your excuse to be at ease and feel secure. The moment you become aware that the quote unquote money you have is fake or that it cannot serve you for whatever reason, you shut off your happy valve, although you don't have to. What is real is not the money or any other physical condition or circumstance, such as being in a loving relationship with your ideal mate or enjoying optimal health. What is real is your awareness, your consciousness, your perception that something is real is what gives reality its realness to begin with. Someone who has is someone who loves and enjoys, someone who understands and appreciates the value of, not intellectually, but emotionally. They feel the joy and benefit of having. A person may be taught to speak words in a language they do not actually understand, words that seem to demonstrate an understanding of the language. For instance, an actor who doesn't speak Norwegian may be trained to pronounce the various sounds that, when spoken, make up the Norwegian words that translate into English, as I speak fluent Norwegian. But that doesn't mean he or she possesses the awareness, the consciousness, the confidence and ease of someone who truly does speak fluent Norwegian. Just because you speak the words, I love and appreciate the things I have, doesn't necessarily mean you feel it. It's a start though. What makes the affirmation true is the quality of your spirit, the energy, the feeling, the heart and soul you put into the words. Words are given life by the speaker. On the other hand, sometimes you watch a foreign language movie without subtitles, and sometimes, even though you don't understand the words, you follow the gist of the emotions being conveyed by the actors on the screen. You understand from the tone of voice how agitated or calm they are at the very least. That's because energy transcends language the same way music does. You are a generator, an emitter. What sort of energy are you emitting? What sort of tune are you vibing with? Assuming the consciousness of someone who already has everything they want is easy to implement, easier than mastering a foreign language, because unlike a foreign language that is completely unfamiliar and alien to you, embodying the state of consciousness of someone who has is something you've already actually done before. You've done it before and you're doing it right now if you've made it this far into the video. It's something that is familiar to you. Let's start with that. You here watching and listening to this video on YouTube. You wouldn't do that unless something about doing that resonated with you, unless there was something about watching videos on YouTube that you appreciate and understand the value of. Value that feels real to you. It isn't that watching a video on YouTube is inherently worth doing or not, but that you are an appreciator of watching videos on YouTube, or you are not at any given moment in time. You are the chooser, the actor, and how you choose and act is a direct consequence of your state of mind, your awareness, your consciousness, your non-physical energy. Watching videos on YouTube is easy for you. You've done it before and it's not something you wonder how to do. Finding stuff to watch is not difficult. If it is, it's because you are thinking that it is. There is a ton of content on YouTube, but sometimes you just aren't interested. The thought that you can't find anything good to watch might cross your mind, that there isn't anything good available, when the truth is that you simply aren't interested at that particular moment in time. Your belief that there isn't enough good content on YouTube is just a projection of your internal feelings of shortage and lack, a projection of your shortage consciousness. And sometimes you feel overwhelmed by the sheer amount of content on YouTube. There's just way too much stuff and not enough time to watch all of it. Here's the thing. Perceiving that there is too much of something is as much a projection of shortage consciousness as it is to perceive that there isn't enough of it. Too much good stuff to watch on YouTube means not enough time to watch it. It's time shortage consciousness. Too much of something means not enough of something else. Assuming and embodying the consciousness of someone who has what they want, someone who is fulfilled, is to know that what you have is just the right amount. It's about having an abundance consciousness. You neither have too little nor too much. What you have is enough. What you have is perfect for now. You love and appreciate what you have, what you already have, as well as what you know is on the way. What you have is just right. What you have is a good fit. What you have arrives with good timing. It feels good. You enjoy it at appropriate intervals over time. You enjoy it at the right frequency, in other words. And that is how you ask for the solutions to your problems, your issues, what have you. You ask not by doing, not by explaining your needs or your dire circumstances, not by pleading a desperate case, in other words, but by being loving and appreciative of what you already have to start with, and then of what you know is on the way. You get what you desire by loving and appreciating what you already have, even if it's just the idea of something at first. There is no need to worry, although you can worry if you choose, if worrying is what you prefer. The more you worry, the more you worry. What does that tell you? The same is true for joy. The more you love and appreciate, the more you love and appreciate. Not because there are things for you to love and appreciate, although there are plenty of it, but because you are a lover and appreciator. There is always plenty at any given moment in time. The only thing that hangs in the balance at any given moment in time is your awareness of the plenty that exists, the abundance that exists, and that is here for you to enjoy. The things you desire are not difficult to achieve. If they are, it's only because you have forgotten your ease. You have forgotten your abundance. All you have to do is remember to reclaim your awareness of the infinite abundance of all things. If what you desire feels out of reach or difficult to attain, you are making it this big thing in your own mind. You are putting it on a pedestal and chasing after it. You are giving it your power, letting it drain you of your power instead of being the powerful you that you are. Whatever it is you desire, whether it's more money, better health, nice stuff, or wonderful relationships, the specifics don't matter. Think about why you want them. Are things that come to you easily not worth valuing and cherishing? Do you only want to accomplish big things because they are difficult to accomplish, because that would be a measure of your self-worth? That isn't wrong, but if you are chronically yearning for some big unfulfilled desire, some big unfulfilled dream, then you are holding out on your own flow of joy and abundance when you could love and appreciate all of the easy to love and appreciate things in your immediate physical vicinity. It is okay for you to be happy now. You deserve to be happy regardless of your past accomplishments or what you are on your way to achieving. Happy now. Satisfied now. That's how your unconditional spirit self feels. You don't have to prove your worthiness or deservability. You can and you don't have to, because you are inherently worthy and deserving of happiness and satisfaction now, unconditionally, regardless of your current circumstances. If someone berates you for being lazy and undeserving, it isn't because you are any of those things. If someone berates you for being lazy and undeserving, it's because they think you are lazy and undeserving. They are projecting their shortage consciousness onto you. Same goes for you. If you notice other people criticizing or berating you and it troubles you, the question isn't what is wrong with you or even what is wrong with them and why they are criticizing and berating you. The real question is, why are you directing your negative energy toward them? Why are you defining their behavior as something to flow your negative energy toward? You could choose to be unconditionally loving and appreciative of them, or just to focus on the people who are easy for you to flow your loving and appreciative energy toward. You have plenty of options. Like I said, Other people criticizing and berating you is just a projection of their critical and judgmental energy. It doesn't mean you have to do anything about it. You can if you want to, but is that really how you want to spend your energy on earning the approval of your critics? It's your call, but letting them be is always an option. It's okay to notice negativity and it's okay to let it be as well. Negativity isn't something for you to vanquish or eradicate. There is an infinite supply of negativity and there is an infinite supply of positivity. There is no getting rid of either. You get to choose how to frame your perspective though, what you keep in your field of vision. Think of yourself as a cameraman. You get to point and shoot your camera. You get to decide how to compose each shot, what goes into each shot. You are an artist, a creator. You choose how much light and darkness goes into each piece of art you create. About self-criticism. If instead of other people, you notice yourself criticizing and berating yourself, it isn't because there is something wrong with you that deserves criticizing and berating. All it means is that you are flowing negative energy and you happen to be using yourself as a punching bag, an easy target, a focal point. You could just as easily think about the weather and criticize it for being too cold or too hot or not to your liking for whatever reason. You could just as easily shut off your negative energy valve. This isn't about suppressing emotions. Thoughts and emotions are like farts. They find an outlet and they do not require your assistance in doing so. Emotions are energy, and life finds a way. Shutting off your negative energy valve isn't about stuffing your feelings, of bottling them up and throwing them under lock and key. That's not how emotions work anyway, given that emotions are always live. It's about what happens when you become aware of what you are flowing and when you realize you would prefer something different. You can remain dominantly happy and secure, dominantly loving and appreciative, dominantly positive and steady in your positivity. There is always something to love and appreciate, just like there is always something to complain about. Life is never done because energy is eternal. Transformation and change and evolution are inevitable. Be engrossed, be interested, be in love. Aim your camera at something, frame it lovingly, and take your shot. What you choose to be engrossed and interested in, what you choose to love, does not matter. What matters is that you are engrossed and interested, that you are in love, that you are devoted. What matters is what you are, how loving and happy and relaxed and at ease you are. What comes easily to you? Because that thing that comes to you easily is something that someone out there is yearning for. What is effortlessly joyful for you is something that someone out there is wishing they could experience. It is also something that some other person out there thinks is a dumb waste of time. All perspectives exist. The one that matters is the one that you assume, the one that you embody. You are free to adopt the perspective of one who loves and appreciates, because that is the perspective of someone who is fulfilled, someone who enjoys what they have, what they already have, whether it's $100 or $100,000, whether it's a secondhand Toyota or a brand new Tesla. What matters is how you feel now. Stay current, stay live, keep up, not with anyone outside of you, but with your own highest self. It's easy because you are alive. It's possible because you are alive. All things are possible because you are alive. All things exist, things you love and things you hate. Since everything you want already exists, pay attention to what you want. Nurture your desires. Tend to your dreams. think and speak and act as one who is, one who has, one who loves and appreciates, one who is fully alive and fully aware of all of the good that exists here and now already, of someone, in other words, who knows that she is always on the quote unquote right track. Wherever you are is where you are quote unquote meant to be. Whatever path you're on is your path of least resistance. You wouldn't be on it otherwise. When you're having a smooth ride, you're on your path of least resistance. When you're having a bumpy ride, you're still on your path of least resistance, which happens to have some resistance on it. When things are a drag, you're still on that path. You're just facing a different direction than you do when things are smooth sailing. You are always moving along your path as long as you feel something, even if what you feel is numbness. Because feeling something, even if that something is nothing, means that you are alive. And as long as you are alive, there is always something to look forward to. The path reveals itself to you. You discover it. You don't have to search for it, although you can if you choose. You are already on your path. You are forging it. You create your own path simply by being alive and thinking and feeling the way you choose to think and feel. Time to stop. Thank you for joining me today. And if you found this useful in some way, please do me a quick favor and hit like, share the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more. Have a great day and see you again soon. Bye.